We're live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Church Communications Podcast. I'm your host, Daryl Girardi, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Katie Allred. Today's podcast is brought to you by Tithely. Tithely exists to help the local church thrive by providing mobile giving and church engagement apps that connect with people on the go. But what we're super excited about is the church app platform that they've created to help you engage with your church. The Tithely church app enables members to take interactive sermon notes, listen to messages on the go, access small group material, check the prayer list, engage with your real-time church news feed, give, and much more. Go to churchcommunications.com/free app to check out the amazing offer. You can get your church app free for a whole year. No setup, no monthly fee for a full year. Check them out. churchcommunications.com/free app. And we want to thank Tithely again for sponsoring this. And guess we're also brought to you by or done through not Tithely, Skype. That's right. We got to mention Skype. Because if we don't mention Skype, we get in trouble. So there you go. Hey, Skype.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, Skype. Hey, Daryl. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. It's Holy Week, and all of our supervisors left us.
Oh, my gosh. Folks, if you hear that violin playing in the background that's playing for Katie right now, all of her blows.
All I'm saying is it's wonderful because that means that no work is getting done. So who cares? Let's just hope that Easter happens.
So are you implying that we have to be here for work to get done?
Yes. Isn't that like the agreement? Like you drive us to work or something? I don't know.
If
you're not motivating me, it's not getting done. That's for sure, Daryl.
There you go, people.
You thought you hired a self-starter, but really you hired a finisher, right?
Not one bit. There we go. I'm learning all the time. There we go. Well, great. All right, folks, we are doing this at 3:45 in the afternoon. Maybe I should say, guys, why so early? That's because Katie's got to go to a Drake concert tonight. So she's going to go see Drake on Holy Week. So just think about that for a second.
Well, it's not actually Drake. It's actually Drake at the Symphony. It's actually a Shavatsky-Drake mashup. So it's mashing classical music with Drake. And also, I think it's in God's plan that I go and listen to Drake. Thank you very much, Daryl.
Hey, if that works for you, good for you.
Oh, it works for me. Yeah, it totally does.
There we go. Hey, we got some stuff going on this week. We got some news. We got some articles. You wanna do some rundown here?
I would love to do some rundown. So let's start with the first one. So this past week, maybe like the week before last, actually, maybe Instagram started introducing hashtags to your profile, so you can use hashtags and links in your bio.
Yep.
So that's really cool. I actually went ahead and edited mine like when this happened, and I already have gained followers because of it. So That was weird. Yeah, I didn't really expect to gain anyone by get the hashtag web design branding. I don't know. And so even though I don't put any of that stuff on my Instagram page, it's all just me hanging out. But it's interesting. I'm interested to see what we could do strategically to use those. You got any ideas?
I mean, in terms of, I guess if you're a church, I guess we would use hashtag Nashville, hashtag your local. I mean, that's immediately where I'd go, right?
Sweet church.
Yeah, I think but I'm thinking if I'm trying to reach people in my community, I think I would.
I would use some
hashtags. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there are hashtags that your community uses, then there you go. That's an easy win. Of course, Nashville by itself is a hashtag, I guess. But
yeah, that's true. So yeah, so I think so. I think there's some strategic stuff you can do with it. I think it's a little bit of we're all going to find out what it's going to be a little of trial and error, like anything with the introduce. It's interesting to me. Do you see with this? They seem to, I'm getting the impression that more and more they are embracing the hashtag as their thing. It's always been their thing. Between them and Twitter, but it seems like now that you can follow a hashtag, you put hashtags in your bio. Are they using that as the kind of the universal search, if that makes any sense? Everything's tied to a hashtag is what they're trying to drive towards?
Yeah, I think so. I think more and more, hashtags are being used on Instagram, which is funny, right? Because hashtags were such a Twitter thing, and now they have been taken over by everybody else. So I don't know. I'm intrigued to see. Right now, you can't filter a hashtag for a profile. You can't just find a list of profiles with that hashtag in it like you could on Twitter.
Okay.
At least I haven't been able to find that. quite yet because I was wondering that. Because like if you click on the hashtag web or whatever in my profile, it just pulls up pictures of web or whatever.
Okay, I got it.
So it's not like pulling up a bunch of user profiles that happen to mention web. So I'm not really sure how I'm even getting those extra followers because I'm like, how are they even finding me using this hashtag? I have no idea.
Interesting. Well, wait. Do you think though, because you're using a hashtag, you're going into people's Explore tab?
Perhaps, maybe, yeah, could be.
That would be the way I think they would do that. Again, I mean, props to them trying to. Hey, I'm cool with this because I would just like stuff in chronological order on the feed. If I get that, that would be a dream. But, hey, I'll take what we can get at this point. All right, number 2. So some of you have been talking about, or at least we know that a good portion of our listening audience is actually over in Europe. And coming up in, I want to say, is it May 2018, Katie? You're going to have something come into effect in regards to the web, which is known as GDPR. All right. So GDPR, what is that? Essentially, go for it.
Is General Data Protection Regulation.
Yep. So basically, Europe's always been a little bit interesting when it comes to the web and how they treat data. I mean, if you've ever been to like a .uk website, you ever get that pop-up that says, by the way, we use cookies and you need to know we're using cookies? You ever seen that pop up when you go to like any British website? Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So they've always treated like how they track you and how they do stuff much more, I guess, with transparency. Would that be the word we'd use? They try to be more transparent for how your data is being done. So it looks like if you're a church over in Europe and you use some of these tools or you collect data via your website, it looks like you're going to have some new rules come into play. GDPR looks like what they're doing is basically you have to basically tell people what data you're storing. You have to be able to give them access to the data that you're storing on them. It's got to be in a reasonable. You have to update them consistently on how the data is being used, and I think they're allowed to also export their data out of whatever service that they're using. It looks like some of the stipulations from that. So it looks like it goes May 25th, 2018 is when it goes into effect. Wow, I mean, I'm assuming
it says on here. This is basically a summary. So it says opt-in only. So all contacts must provide consent to be contacted.
Oh, wow.
The sender, your business, must be able to prove they have consent.
Wow. So does that change how like MailChimp would work?
No, because MailChimp would have a record of where they signed up.
Okay. But
MailChimp's not held responsible. They're the data processor. You're the data controller.
So in other words, like if I'm at a church and I give them my information, like my email address, and I fill out like the communications card or connection card or whatever you call it, and I say, you
would need to have that card.
Oh gosh.
I think you're going to have to keep it on file. Yeah, I think that's like the thing. So, even on our we ask questions, right, for our Facebook group. We're going to have some form of proof that they gave it to us.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Wow. So, if you're
that might change things for us a little bit.
Interesting. We need to have a button that says, "Are you in Europe?"
Yeah, are you in Europe? And there's no soft opt-ins. So that means implied consent is no longer enough. Make sure users are ticking a box to something they can understand when you collect their data.
Wow. Well, there you go.
So also, anyone on your contacts list has the right to have all of their data deleted for free at any time.
Interesting.
The right to be forgotten.
Yes, and I knew about the right to be forgotten because they've had that for a while. But this is interesting. So I wonder. I mean, I guess it would affect like all services like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's wild. Well, there you go.
That is from that sweet little chart that I kind of read from. It's from Digital Donut, and I found that through justcreatives.com. Yeah. So we'll put all those links in the show notes so everybody can read it. Because I thought this was a really clear.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So
we'll put this in the show notes as well. All right, on to story number 2. All right, this is an article that's on social media today. It's about keeping up with algorithms, what you need to know about each platform's sorting system. So we consistently, I would say, I don't know how many times a week, we always get somebody saying, like, how do I get better engagement on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram posts, whatever. And we all pretty much have the same answer. Invariably, it's all like, you need to create great content, yada, yada, yada. This
Sure.
article is great because this person actually walks you through how the actual, I would say how the algorithm works, maybe one way to phrase it, but in terms of like understanding the technical factors of signals, predictions, and scores, and how something is scored in terms of how relevant it is to actually the audience. And this person actually breaks it down, actually gives you a couple examples. I believe it's on Facebook, how it's done. And then he also walks you through how Twitter's algorithm is done as well. It's really, I looked at it, it's really insightful. He breaks you down Facebook, Twitter, and then he talks about Instagram. Even jumps into LinkedIn for you kids who are on LinkedIn and Pinterest as well. But super helpful in my opinion, because it really kind of breaks down some of the key elements of stuff you have to think about, and actually how the stuff. And he actually uses in the analogy he uses is like a restaurant is ordering stuff from a restaurant and how they break it down. So anyway, we'll keep the article in the show notes and you can check it out. But definitely worth a read and worth your time if you're trying to figure out how to get better engagement out of your social media posts.
Yeah.
And last but definitely not least, if my mouse would work. Sorry.
The April 2018 lineup for Twitter marketers.
Now, I found this today, and I didn't know, maybe I'm late to the game on this, but Twitter apparently publishes a monthly calendar, which gives you like key, like when big things are happening around the globe and around the world. And I guess that's to let you know that, hey, this may be trending. I guess so like April's calendar, obviously April Fool's is on Sunday along with Easter. It also actually, by the way, it gives you
impressions.
Yeah. Is that like predicted or previous? I wonder.
It says tweet impressions, so I don't exactly know. And honestly, I can't super read it. I actually tried to blow up the graphic and I wasn't sure.
So this is 2017 impressions data. So this is like what they predict. So like last year, Easter had 18.9 million total tweet impressions. So that you can take that. But what this does is does give you an idea of like what larger conversations will be going on a month. What they predict larger conversations will be on in a global perspective for the entire month of April. So April Fool's Day is on there. Easter's on there. Everything like the Country Music Awards is on here. The Boston Marathon, Earth Day. Yeah. So it's a pretty interesting NFL draft. So I've always said that for us, like, especially being in the Southeast U.S. in the fall on Saturdays, we know it's going to be pretty much about college football. So you kind of need to know that when you're planning out, especially your turn to your Twitter content. So yeah, so that may be worth definitely checking out in case you haven't seen that before. So there you go.
We're going to mention Skype again. Thanks, Skype, for having this call with us.
Yes, we appreciate that, Skype.
Do you have anything you want to lift up?
Oh, man.
I'm going to lift up Drake.
Katie's going to lift up Drake today, which is going to be great. You know what? I will tell you.
Follow my Instagram story.
Gosh, what would I lift up today? I will tell you what, I'm really digging this app called Moments on my iPhone.
Okay, yeah.
So what Moments does is it say, hey, you've been on your phone too long, get off of it. And then it gives you an actual breakdown of what you were doing on your phone. And then it tells you like, it's just total guilt, and I totally get it. It's like, hey, by the way, you spent X amount of time on your phone today. That's X amount of percentage of your life if you kept that up. And you go, wow, I need to really put my phone down. And I will tell you, my time on my phone has been cut by 50% easily.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I really, really am digging.
Now you switched to grayscale. Did you keep it?
I switched to grayscale. I turned grayscale off. Grayscale is really hard.
Yeah, hard to use.
Yeah, like it's like because
functionally it's hard to use.
Functionally, it's hard to use because you've got so many things that are based on color.
Right. I heard I was talking to like a dentist randomly on Sunday night at a friend's house.
Yeah.
And he said he had heard or whatever about using grayscale, and he was like, yeah, I've had it on for a week now, and he was like, I really love it because I am less interested in it. Mm-hmm. Like all it's done is made me less interested in it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like for me, I thought, oh yeah, the notifications aren't going to be so like apparent or whatever, but the being less interested in it, like having a lower appetite, I guess, for those notifications was an interesting thought.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely will definitely change the way you approach that. So
Yeah.
I took off. I did the grayscale for a while. It was a little too much for me. I was like, okay, that's a little too much. But I will tell you, I like it. What about you, Katie? Is there anything you want to lift up other than the fact you're going to see a Drake concert tonight at the
Follow my
Symphony?
Instagram story, if KDJ Allred. Follow me. What's up? That's what I want to lift up, my Instagram account.
Lift up your Instagram account. Please do follow Katie. Hashtag Drake.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's going on in my life that's cool I could talk about. That I'm using. I recently got into some stocks. Started using
gosh,
an
yes.
app called Robinhood.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to get into it, I can get you a free stock. So, also ping me on my Instagram. But I don't know, it's just fun to watch. I don't know, it's like a fun thing to watch for me. It's not really like I'm serious about it. Like I'm not putting like a load of cash in there or anything. Obviously,
No.
I'm a church worker. What kind of cash do I have?
The free stock they gave me was Zynga. I'm like,
Right,
really,
it was
guys?
$3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just watching my $3 stocks go up and down, and it's very entertaining for me. I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's just, I don't know. For me, it's like a fun, I don't know. It's like watching a basketball game or something. So it's been really entertaining for me recently.
Yes, unless that basketball game is tied to your 401k, then it becomes a whole lot more interesting and not in a good way.
And it's not. It's just money that, if I lose it, whatever, who cares? It's not that big, a significant amount of money. It's like $100 every month. So everyone calm down.
Wow.
So anyway, I'm like gambling away my life.
Exactly.
I'm not, so it's fine, everyone. So let's talk about the Big Idea Conference. So you have 3 days to register before we are going to raise the price. We were going to close registration on the 31st, but instead we thought, you know what, we may just raise the price. So we probably won't do that till actually April 2nd because we work on April 1st, guys.
Yeah.
But obviously it's crunch time and we need to know if you're coming or not.
Yes.
So if you are going to register, please do it this week. I know it's Holy Week and I know it's a lot to ask of you. So if you can, that would be great. If not, you're going to have to do it next week and the price might be more. So.
And plus we're hitting pretty much close to capacity in terms of.
We are. So if you're going to come, you got to get in now.
Specifically on our breakouts, like I'm at the point where I'm kind of going, fire code may be coming to play on a couple of these things. So,
cancel it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, so like it's it's a great problem to have. We've got a lot of you coming, and so the thing is a lot of you sign up at the last minute, which I totally understand. I get that. I do the same thing.
That's
So we're looking for
sign up.
We're going to raise the price, and then at some point we probably will cut off registration. Probably I'm going to say right around the middle of April, like a little bit before then. We're going to have to cut it off in order to kind of get everything squared away for you guys. So
yeah. So please do. I mean, probably like April 10th or 15th.
Around April 10th. April 10th, we're going to be cutting it off. So there you go.
Okay, great. We made that decision now in this podcast. Okay,
Done.
So if you don't know what the Big Idea Conference is, it's bigideanashville.com, and it's a conference for church communicators, church workers, church leaders, church pastors, whoever you are. If you deal with branding, marketing, website design, prayer list, I don't know, prayer pagers, come to our conference. We'll tell you not to use prayer pagers. No, I'm just kidding. You should if that's a cool thing you want to do.
Yeah.
Or we can talk about texting. I don't know. So come out and hang out with us, have some tacos, and have a good time.
It'll be great. Yeah, and if you are listening to this podcast, we'd love it if you subscribe on iTunes. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like or share button as well. We would greatly appreciate it. And until next week, you guys take care. Have a wonderful Easter and take a break after all of this chaos that is Easter happens. Okay? Get some time for yourself, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right?
Bye.
Bye. And